time for another in-studio interview right now as we're rolling right along here on a Tuesday afternoon. Very proud to be joined in the studio with Whitney Proctor. She is here with Junior Auxiliary. Time to talk about the shoe drive. That's coming up actually this Saturday, right, Whitney?
This Saturday. So what we are doing is collecting shoes for children that need a new pair with the local city elementary school. So this is a project that we do every year. I think we're somewhere between 7 to 10 years on the history. I didn't catch the exact one before I left. But so we partner with the guidance counselors at the local elementary schools, and they basically will provide us a list with any of the students in their school, the size that they need and how many they need. So we are doing a drive on Saturday, which is the event itself that we are here talking about today. We'll be at the shoe show, so just right here on Keith Street at the shoe show from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, where we will have the cards for all the kids in our local school system that need a new pair of shoes. So if you would like to come to the shopping event, this is kind of like our kickstart for the purchasing. You can come and you can get a card, and it'll have, whether it's for a boy or a girl, what size they need, and you can pick up as many cards as you want and just do the shopping while you're there. If you are not able to make it to the actual shopping event, we of course will always take donations. We're happy to do the shopping for you. If you do want to pick up a specific card and maybe make it a family event, everybody in the family picks up a card and purchases a pair of shoes for one of these children, we will collect the shoes over the next month, probably till like mid-April, give or take a little bit. That way we've got plenty of time to collect everything. And then one thing I do want to really highlight too is this is the most requests we have ever had. It seems to get bigger and bigger every year, but we have historically been somewhere in that 200 mark. This year, I think our request is 330.
Oh my goodness.
And this is just city elementary schools. So this doesn't even include county. It doesn't include middle and high school, just solely city elementary school children in your local Bradley County that are in need of new pairs of shoes. So if you have any interest whatsoever in participating in this project, this is definitely something that we could use assistance in purchasing these with either your monetary donations, or if you'd like to come to the actual event to purchase a pair of shoes yourself.
Whitney Proctor joins us once again, Junior Auxiliary of Cleveland, talking about their shoe drive, how the numbers have increased, over 300 now in need of those. And I really, you know, as you were talking there, I got the wheels spinning in my mind. They spin a little slow these days. But the thing that makes so much sense, we just heard that the weather is changing. It's springtime. So a lot of these young people maybe had some type of winter shoe that they were wearing. Sure. But maybe it's time, not only in the growth spurt that they probably have done in the past several months, but now you kind of need something more conducive for the weather that's in front of us. Yeah,
well, and the shoes that we do purchase are all tennis shoes. So it's athletic wear that they can use for anything. They can use it for school. They can use it for, you know, just whatever at home or whatever activities. But I think the biggest thing in looking at the number of requests that we've gotten, you know, everything, of course, has gotten so expensive with just inflation across the board. So if you're thinking about families trying to look at that budget and what they have to cover every month with utilities and rent and food and everything, you know, that's one of the things that's theoretically less essential, to be able to buy a new pair of shoes. But that's still such an essential item when you really think about what that is. Like, they have either they're grown out, or they have holes, or they're just completely worn out. Whatever the situation is, the family literally may be unable to make that purchase. So this is where one of the projects where we try to fill the gaps and hopefully purchase a pair for them so that they're no longer in need of that.
You know, it's kind of the old adage where it says it takes a community or a village to raise a child. And this is kind of what that leads back to. There's people out there that are doing everything they can day in and day out, single moms, single dads, grandparents, great-grandparents raising children these days. And think about this. If you have a grandparent or great-grandparent, you may know from your own experience, you know, the checks come in and they don't really stretch that far. But imagine if they're taking care of their grandchildren and great-grandchildren, the expenses that come along with that. Then you try to throw in these type things, shoes and everything else that everybody wants. And think about this too, when kids go to school, let's face it, I don't think kids are quite as nasty as they used to be. You know, when I was a kid, everybody was kind of, you know, they're around, look at your shoes. But just think of the pride factor and everything else that these young people are going to feel going back to school. And that's just one less thing that they have to worry about,
Right.
Whether the shoes are too snug and they're not very comfortable at all, or it is time to replace them because they're just completely worn out. This is something they can go to school. They can be a kid.
Right.
They don't have to worry about that extra pressure of appearance. And let's face it, we all do. I mean, we all have those fears of not basically having something that looks like it's not worn out.
Right.
So this helps out in those circumstances as well. And a lot of these times when you speak with people that are recipients of these type things, they're not asking for the $300 Jordan shoes. They're just asking for something that will get them in something that's big enough to fit them and that is not worn out.
Right. It's just a legitimate need. And the whole reason, of course, that the organization focuses on children like we do, all the projects are solely for children. It's not for adults. And not that there's not lots of adults that need assistance as well, but children are not able to fend for themselves. They can't go get jobs. They can't, do whatever they need to do to be able to potentially go make extra money to buy those shoes.
Right.
So they need that extra help because they can't do it themselves. That's
absolutely right. Whitney Proctor with us once again, Junior Auxiliary of Cleveland. Let's talk a little bit. We talked about this shoe drive. This is an event's coming up on Saturday,
right?
That people can be a part of. What else is Junior Auxiliary a part of? I mean, when we talk about Junior Auxiliary, you guys stay busy all year.
Yes, all year. So we have the shoe drive in the spring. We do a similar project for the middle schools in the fall. It's called Jackets for Juniors, so very similar. We work with the guidance counselors at the schools. That one is specifically for the middle schools, and same kind of thing, get a list of who and how many need different jackets and in what sizes.
Sure.
So same type of project. We partner with the Boys and Girls Club. We partner with the Library for Children's Literacy. And then there's a few other odds and ends things that we do as well. We have what's called focus families. If there's a family that's just in need of some really specific monetary or physical need, we'll look at those as well. But that's a majority of the things that we do is focusing on child welfare and covering those just really basic essential things that they need. And a lot of that, of course, then ends up being through the school system.
What is the background of Junior Auxiliary?
Yeah, so it was founded, I believe, in the 40s, in Mississippi, maybe. It's all in the southeast area. So there were these women that it was during war times, they saw children basically, I don't know if they were literally homeless, but they saw a very, very obvious need in these kids every single day, and no one was necessarily able to help them, or maybe they knew that the families were unable to help. So it basically was just a group of women that came together. Hey, we see these kids, we see these needs that they have. Let's form our own little group, and we'll do what we can to help them. And then it spiraled from there as far as becoming a national organization. There's chapters all over the Southeast. I think they're close to 100 chapters maybe now all over the Southeast. And that's really the premise behind it is they saw the need and they wanted to do something to fulfill that need. And now here we are so many years later with chapters all over covering different counties.
Again, we hope that you will consider being a part of the shoe drive this Saturday. At the shoe show.
At the shoe show, 10 to 1 is when we'll be there.
Is that the one by the KFC there?
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Yes, right there.
Okay.
So we'll be there from 10 to 1. You can come and get the cards. And then, like I said, if it doesn't work for you to come to the shopping event, I know there's all sorts of things going on this time of year. Yeah. We will be collecting donations for the next several weeks. If you don't want to physically go shopping, we will collect monetary donations. We can either meet up with you, we can take PayPal. That's probably the easiest thing for you. If you want to just do a contribution that way, we're happy to do the shopping. We'll accept help in any way that we can so that we can fulfill all of these orders because it's a lot.
About how strong is the Junior Auxiliary here in our area, members-wise?
We're right at about 30 members, so it's not a super big organization.
But
really.
There's a lot of work that comes out of those 30.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted that number. I knew it wasn't huge, but the on-taking that you guys do is just phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's, we just talked about the projects that we do and, those essential things that you don't think about and how many, you just go and look in your closet and you go, oh, I've got 15 jackets to pick from.
Yep.
And they may literally not have one. But yeah, it's just a small group of us doing a lot of projects. So any and all help from the community. We're 100% nonprofit. So all of these projects are solely funded by people either donating for the specific project or just donating to the organization in general. Since we bring that up, I'll highlight our fundraiser next Saturday also.
Please do.
Yes, we're still taking ticket purchases through the end of the day on Thursday. It will be cut off after that just purely because we have to give a head count. But next Saturday, April 1st at the Cleveland Country Club at 6 o'clock, we're having our Night in White fundraiser. Tickets are still available for $100 a ticket. If you have any interest in that at all, please feel free to reach out to us via social media, or you can call or text me. My phone number is 423-432-7419. Like I said, that one is next Saturday, April 1st. Yeah. So shoe show this Saturday, fundraiser next Saturday. Fundraiser is every single penny goes towards funding these projects. So when we have the fundraiser, that's going to fund all the projects for next year, fund all the shoes that we get requests for next spring.
Whitney Proctor joins us once again, Junior Auxiliary. We've been highlighting the shoe drive. We hope that you will participate in that this Saturday. You mentioned something earlier, Whitney, that is such a cool thing. If you are someone that's, you don't have to be rich. You know, some people say, well, I only do this if I've got tons of money. Some of the most giving people are the ones that have just a little bit more than they need. And they're like, I've got what I need. I know this person doesn't. I want to give. If you would like to be able to be somebody that passes that along to the next generation, two things always happen out of these type situations. One, if you bring your kids and they participate, you're teaching them as young people what they need to do as they become adults.
Yes.
But then on the flip side of this, whether it's the shoe drive, or whether it's the coat drive, or whether it's the sack pack program, or whether it's the empty stocking fund that we do, all of these different projects, these recipients, they grow up, they remember that. They're like, my community cared enough for me during a time when I was in need to do this. They grow up and they want to give back. So it's such a really twofold thing there. You're teaching your kids and your family and your young people about giving, but you're also the recipients. They're not just receiving what you're doing. You're laying a foundation for them to know that a community cares enough about them for them to have pride in themselves and self-esteem, to where eventually one day they're going to be the ones back at these type of events,
right,
giving themselves.
Yeah, well, and I mean, since you bring up community, that's the thing that I really like about this organization. Not, you know, we love all the big national organizations as well, but this is literally kids in your county. Like, these are your neighbors. These are people you see at the store, down the street from your house.
Right.
So every single project that we do, every single penny that we raise is 100% pouring back into your community. So it's not going anywhere else. All right here in Bradley County.
I'm going to say one more thing, because, you know, when I get talking about things that I feel passionate about, which this, when you talk about kids, I always am. You know, we're all going to be going out over these next few weeks. I mentioned it earlier, the change of the season. Easter's right around the corner. We're all going to go out and do Easter shopping, shoe shopping, because that's just what we do.
Sure.
So think about this. Think about when you get ready to do that. And if you're financially stable to do that, thank the Lord. Give him the blessings. Give him the praise and the glory for sure. But think about how you could take this a little bit and say, you know what? I'm going to help somebody else. They're not thinking about a pair of Easter shoes. They're just thinking about a pair of shoes, period.
Right.
And so, you know, maybe have that mentality just a little bit. Come out, support this on Saturday. Or if you're someone that can't get there Saturday, Whitney's going to give us the information one more time, how you can help beyond just this Saturday if you can't. So
yes,
we'll close with that.
This Saturday at the shoe show, 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. If you cannot come to the event, find us on social media and send us a direct message, or you can just reach out to me directly and I will get you linked up with a PayPal invoice where you can just donate whatever amount you're comfortable with. Nothing's too small, nothing's too big. We'll take it and we'll use it to buy shoes for the kids. So 423-432-7419 if you want to reach out to me directly, or we're also on Facebook and Instagram. You can send us a message on either one. The events are posted on there. So you should be able to find all the information you need.
Whitney, God bless you and the 30-something people that do what you guys do year long with not only this event, but the coat drive and so many other things that you guys do throughout the year. And again, don't forget about the fundraiser next Saturday.
Yes.
One more
April
time.
1st.
April 1st.
6 o'clock, Cleveland Country Club. Tickets are $100 a piece. You have until the end of this week to buy a ticket for the fundraiser if you're interested in that.
Whitney, so great to see you again. We appreciate
you so much.
Appreciate the job that you're doing in the community.
Yes, thank you for having me.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to get actually into some music right now for you right here on Mix 104.1. It's Coldplay.